Fanboy, 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 fanboy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Fanboy Reviews, and today we're gonna talk about the PS Vita. The PlayStation Vita is the current generation handheld console of the PlayStation Sony brand. And ladies and gentlemen, this is quite possibly the most pathetic, most lackluster handheld system in memory, okay? Because there's really nothing that came out for the PS Vita thus far that's impressed anybody. It's got nothing but terrible reviews. People look at this PlayStation Vita as some kind of... people think that this system is a competition to the awesome 3DS. It's not even close, let me tell you. It's not even a lick of a close to the freaking 3DS. 3DS is incredible. It's amazing. The PS Vita, on the other hand, is an overpriced, overhyped little piece of crap that has no good games. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about the current list of games available for the system right now, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the little games available for the system. But before we get to that, let's talk about the background of the PS Vita. This thing came out on 2011. It was released in Japan just last year, December. So it's a relatively new console. I mean, it's only been around for a few months. North America and parts of Asia and South America, it came out in 2012, February. So really just mere days ago. A few days ago, very recently. I mean, this system is so bad that I can't even explain it, because there's so much BS surrounding the PS Vita in this whole marketing campaign, this so-called $50 million ad campaign that Sony has. It's basically a losing path. It's probably one of the worst business decisions I've ever heard from any company. Sony has dug themselves a completely brand new hole. No, not a hole. A complete huge valley of problems and a crap load of just financial worries. You're gonna sink $50 million in advertising the PS Vita when you have no games worth buying for the system, when you have absolutely no good games to actually support your crappy console. Okay? I mean, you release a limited edition in North America in February. It really had like a 3G model. The Little Deviants, the game that was included. Little Deviants, probably one of the most terrible games I've ever seen. It had a limited edition carry case. It's got a 4GB memory card. And the handheld itself, it has two analog sticks, a 5-inch OLED multi-touch capacitive touchscreen. So basically, it's just a 3DS ripoff because it's got a touchscreen. Sony, once again, being this unoriginal company, being this incredibly hacky, uninspired thieves. That's what they are. They're just a bunch of thieves. All they do is steal ideas from other companies. And this is what the PS Vita has done. The 3DS, the DS, very innovative. It's got the touchscreen. It's got, it's got the pen. Very, very cool system. But I mean, this thing the PS Vita tries to use Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, optional 3G, which is just nothing but gimmicks. I mean, we all know it's a very gimmicky system. Like I said, we're gonna get to the games a little bit later. Internally, the Vita features a 4-core ARM Cortex A9 mpcore processor. Yeah, like that's supposed to be impressive. That's supposed to mean something. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You're trying to impress me with these big words. These are just big words. These are fancy, pseudo-scientific, It's just like technobabble, Like crappy technical jargon that doesn't really mean anything. They just try to make it sound impressive. Oh, 4-core ARM Cortex, A9 mpcore. Like that's supposed to mean something. Get out of here, Sony. We all know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it sound impressive, but really it's not. It's a really crummy system. I mean, does anybody understand this? SGX543 MP4 Plus graphics processing unit? What does that even mean? Nothing. It means jack squat. It means gimmick. That's what it means. Translation, gimmick. It has a live area software as its main user interface, which succeeds the cross-media bar, the XMB. Oh, come on. What's wrong with the XMB? What was the matter with the XMB? Nothing. The XMB was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was completely fine. The XMB had no problems. I enjoyed it on the PS3. On the PSP, it was good. So there's really nothing wrong with the XMB. You're going to try and replace it with this other thing, which is probably the same thing. It really is. Alright, so let's talk about some games, because, I mean, we all know how terrible the unit itself is. The hardware is just a complete fail. So let's talk about some of the games. Alright, so some of the released games. Rayman Origins. Rayman Origins. Can you believe that in 2012, they have a Rayman game? What kind of uninspired, pathetic developing is this? It's now gotten to the point where they're re-releasing franchises and old games from like the 90s, and they're coming out in early 2010s. You know, now it's 2012. It's like they're trying to make money off these old franchises, these old names. Rayman hasn't been relevant since 1999. And this game getting an 88 out of, I guess, a possible 100 on Metacritic. It's got a Metascore aggregate score. I mean, this is so pathetic. This is so embarrassing. And it's not even a 9. Like, they don't even have 9s. They don't have 10s. This is how pathetic the PS Vita is. They don't have any good games. Rayman is supposedly their highest rated game with 88. That is so lame. That's just laughable, okay? You call that a high score? How many 88s did like the PS2 have? You know, the Xbox 360, you know, the Super Nintendo. Those had like 88s every freaking month. They had 80. I mean, they had really highly reviewed games like 9s, 9.5s, 10s. Those are the true systems that had real games, not stupid little PS Vita. 88, that's your best game. Rayman Origins. Who cares about Rayman? Moving on. Okay, so their second highest rated game is Motorstorm RC. I'm gonna say that again. Motorstorm. What is this? 2006? Motorstorm hasn't been good since Motorstorm Pacific Rift. And that was like 2008. Okay, that was 4 years ago. And now you have Motorstorm RC? Really? An RC game? That's gonna be your gimmick? Motorstorm isn't even that good of a racer. Like, it's not even a good racing game. It's okay. Like, the controls are okay. It's too simulation for me. Like, I like the speed. The speed is good. But it's not nearly as fast as Burnout. It's not nearly as fast as, you know, F-Zero. I mean, those games are way better. Those games are a lot more faster, more arcadey. Not this simulation crap where you have... It tries too hard to be realistic. That's what I hate about Motorstorm. Trying so hard to be realistic, and like the physics and the engine of the controls, and you know, it just tries to be too like realistic, like a real extreme, you know, sports game or racing game, I should say. You know, Motorstorm stinks. And look at the score. It's got an 85. 85, how pathetic. How many 85 games have we played over the years? There's so many 85s out there that it's a very average score. 85 is incredibly average. You know, you go to like GameSpot or Metascores and like other systems, like again, a PlayStation 2. How many 85s does that system have? A lot. And this is supposedly the second best game on the PS Vita. I'm just shaking my head, and I'm just so amused at how terrible the PS Vita is. Oh, this is the third. This is game number 3, third highest rated. Lumines Electronic Symphony. A Lumines game. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. You have a handheld that has a puzzle game. But this puzzle game is basically just a Tetris ripoff. If you want a good puzzle game, a 2D puzzle game, with a lot of colors and bright colors and little puzzle blocks and stuff like that, just go play Tetris. You know? I mean, you have Lumines for the PS2. You have Lumines for the PSP. Lumines it's not even a good puzzle game. Like, it's so average. Again, enough with the mediocrity, Sony. You have nothing but mediocre franchises and games for your stupid system. It's supposed to be this new revolutionary current generation system, PS Vita. But all I'm seeing is a piece of crap that has very mediocre, outdated... It's the same crap over and over again. And it's really, really sad. Lumines, man. This one has an 84. Okay, an 84. That's a pretty bad score. Okay, next game, Tales from Space, Mutant Blobs Attack. That is such a bad title that I wouldn't even want to look at this game if I saw it on the shelves. What kind of dumb player is going to buy Tales from Space, Mutant Blobs Attack? This better not be a retail game. This better not be a hard media game where you can buy a disc, you know. This better be just a downloadable, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a downloadable only game. Pathetic. Absolutely. Just, this is so lethargic of Sony. Like the lazy asses that they are for releasing the same stupid games again and again. Okay, what do we... Oh, speaking of rehashes, Blazblue Continuum Shift Extend. Oh my goodness. And this game has an 83. Ha! An 83. Take that. Take that, Blazblue. You suck. Blazblue sucks, okay? Fighting games are terrible, and Blazblue is one of the worst fighting games I've ever seen. First of all, the franchise itself is terrible, okay? Blazblue, the first one, was garbage. Calamity Trigger. And then Continuum Shift was the sequel. They came out for the PS3. They're garbage games. They suck so bad. Very, very crappy 2D, like, they're 90s games. Like, they're from the 90s. Like, if you play games like King of Fighters or Street Fighter, they're just rip-offs of those games. It's like the same simplistic gameplay. You know, every single character plays the exact same thing. Everybody has the same exact fighting style. Blazblue sucks. Continuum Shift Extend. That's the exact same game as Continuum Shift. Probably with just like a few more extra characters or something. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Alright, the next game is Super Stardust Delta. That's a name for a game. Super Stardust Delta. I'm just gonna barf at this horrible, nauseating lack of originality. That's the stupidest name ever. Super Stardust Delta. It's probably a Star Wars ripoff. Ugh. Alright, next up we have Uncharted Golden Abyss. Ha! This one has an 80. It's got an 80. Uncharted has an 80. In your face. Uncharted sucks, okay? Leave these games to the PS3, where you can actually appreciate the graphics, the amazing detail, the amazing CGI, the amazing, like, awesome widescreen HD graphics. You can't appreciate this on a stupid small screen like the PS Vita. PS Vita's not good enough to handle these graphics. Golden Abyss. It's got an 80. Ha! So much for Uncharted. That means Uncharted is pretty much gone. Uncharted is death. You know, we're witnessing the death of the Uncharted franchise. The fact that it's on the Vita. Alright, 79. I should say, the next game has a score of 79. Wipeout. Wipeout 2048. First of all, you're not fooling me, Wipeout. You're not tricking me into thinking that this game is set in 2048. I know what the future looks like, and it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like a bunch of crazy, weird spaceship-looking cars zooming across the sky and across this futuristic, strange, electronic, Tron-looking world where it's got these crazy, fast-paced freaking cars and vehicles that they're basically hover cars. Okay, there's no hover cars in 2048. And if you think that's the case, then you're just a dumb little fool. Wipeout, you're not realistic. You're a crappy racing game, okay? If you want a good racing game, just play Motorstorm, okay? Motorstorm is way better than Wipeout. It's a lot more realistic. It's a lot more fun. The gameplay is a lot more simulation-based, which makes it more fun and enjoyable. Not Wipeout, that's like faster and just kind of weird and wacky and stupid and arcadey. I hate that arcadey gameplay. It's so stupid. Alright, the next game. Oh, this is really the bottom, like the shit bottom of the barrel. Like this is where like you reach the bottom scraps and there's really nothing left here. And unless you're a really desperate, stupid, pathetic gamer that has nothing else to do. Next game is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I'm gonna say that again. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like this game hadn't already come out 20 million times for the other systems. For the PS3, the Xbox 360. We've seen Marvel vs. Capcom so many times this in 2011 that I can't even believe that this came out on the PS Vita. People just play it on the PS3 or something. I mean, there's no point of playing Marvel vs. Capcom anymore. These Capcom games are terrible. They're garbage. They suck. They stink. They're putrid. They're crap. Okay? Nobody likes these games anymore. Marvel vs. Capcom hasn't been good since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And that was like 15 years ago. Okay? I mean, get with the program. Do I even have to mention the other games? Now it's getting even terrible. Like, it just gets worse from here. FIFA Soccer. Like, we need another soccer game. Hot Shots Golf. Really? Hot Shots Golf? How many Hot Shots Golf have there been for the PS2? Tons, okay? Tons. Just get Hot Shots Golf 3 or something for the PS2 for like $5. Oh my god. Virtua Tennis 4. Virtua Tennis 4. Virtua Tennis hasn't been relevant since Virtua Tennis, the first one, for the frickin' Sega Dreamcast. From like 1998. Why is Virtua Tennis still around? Oh my god. Okay, other games. Escape Plan. It sucks. Hustle Kings. Terrible. Unit 13. One of the worst. Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus. Ninja Gaiden is garbage. It's repetitive. Touch My Katamari. What kind of game is this? Is this a pedophile game? What is this? This is disgusting. Sony should be ashamed of themselves. Touch My Katamari? That is so wrong. Would you go up to a kid and go, hey, would you like to play Touch My Katamari? They would just look at you and then they'd call the cops because you'll sound like a complete pervert. That's so gross. Touch My Katamari? Ugh. F1 2011. Why do they still have F1 games? Dynasty Warriors Next? OMG. Another stupid Dynasty Warriors game. It's the same exact frickin' gameplay since 2001. Oh, this mindless kill 200 people in the same area and then you move on, kill 200 people that don't do anything. They just stand there like a bunch of idiots while you wield your giant sword. Ugh. Alright, next game, Modnation's Racers Road Trip. It sucks. Just get Mario Kart, people. I mean, Mario Kart is so much better. Army Corps of Hell, who cares? Reality Fighter sounds stupid. Shinobido 2, Revenge of Zen, stupid. Michael Jackson, The Experience HD. Why did they have a video game about a guy who hasn't been alive since 2009? I mean, granted, rest in peace, he's a legend. Why does he have a video game? That's like 3 years from now, people release a game on like Christopher Hitchens, the video game. Mind Expansion. I mean, what is wrong with Sony? The last few games, Little Deviants, Asphalt Injection, Dungeon Hunter Alliance, and Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. I'm getting so tired of this. I'm just fed up. I've been talking for 20 minutes about how crappy the PS Vita is, and I've just listed you the entire library of the PS Vita. There's nothing impressive in this library. It sucks completely, and the PS Vita is just garbage. I feel sorry for you if you had to pay for the PS Vita. I feel bad for you if you paid for it, if you got it brand new, if you spend your hard-earned money on this and it's crappy games. I mean, I'd rather have the N-Gage at this point. I'd rather have the Gizmondo instead of the freaking PS Vita. At least the Gizmondo had, like, sticky balls. That was a really good game, you know? I mean, I'd rather play that than freaking stupid-ass, you know, Army Corps, you know, all this crap. Rayman, you know, who cares? Alright, so that's it for this episode of Fanboy Reviews. And until next time, keep fanboying. Yeah. Subscribe, stupid. Subscribe, stupid. Subscribe, stupid. Subscribe, stupid.